same Kimura. Controlling the far side arm and her neck. Okay, walking your hand and her elbow away from her body. Hugging underneath your first arm. Finding her wrist and finding your own wrist. Here. Okay, this time what I'm going to do is no thumbs here, everything's tight. I'm going to put my forehead on top of my hand, which is on top of her wrist. And I'm going to lean on it, pinching it to the ground with lots of weight. From here, I'm going to get up on my toes and get my butt up in the air to stop her from stopping me from going over her head. Now I walk my feet over her head. I bring one knee to her shoulder and the other knee either, well, most likely in her armpit here. Okay, once I have this, I'm kind of pinching my knees and have her trapped. I'm going to sit up and pull her elbow into my chest, and I'm going to sit back. Don't lean forward here, because here she can grab her own belt, and make it hard for me to finish the Kimura, or I have to break the grip. If I can, I want to be back here. Pinch my knees together, pinch her in her back and her chest, and turn to finish the Kimura. So starting from side control here, walking her elbow away from her body, hugging underneath the first grip, grabbing the wrist, elbows on the ground, my forehead goes on top of my hand, which is on top of her wrist. I get up on my toes, my butt up in the air. I circle so that my knee can come to the other side of her head, and I pinch tight to her body and tight to her neck. And from here, I sit up, pulling her up onto her side and pulling her elbow into me. Pinch my knees, and to finish, I'm going to turn this way. Now, let's say I get to this point, grab your belt, and I didn't get her arm away from her body. And a lot of times people sit like this and they're busy trying to pull this loose, okay? I've found the easiest way to pull this loose is to break her grip away from her thumb. So always pulling that way. Now that's the opposite direction to finish. So what I do to do this one is I still have my figure four. I make sure my chest is against her elbow and I turn hard away from the grip. Here. Now once I have it pulled away from her body, now I sit back. Now she can't re-grip. I pinch my knees and I finish the Kimura here. She hugs underneath. She walked my elbow away, grabs my wrist, and she pins it to the ground. Yeah, she puts her forehead on top of her own hand, on top of my wrist, elbow on the ground. There we go. She gets up on her toes. She's going to walk her left leg to the other side of my head and bring her knee tight to my neck. Knee all the way on the ground. There we go. Now she's basically going to sit on my head and pull my elbow into her chest as she sits up. Good. She hugs everything tight. She sits up tall enough that I think there, and she turns to finish. Yeah. Good.